YouTubians. This is Lance here, and it's about 12 o'clock at night, and I can't really sleep, so I decided to do this video for you guys. What I'm going to talk about today is my Army experience, or what it was a very short boot camp. Well, not short, it was the full length, but I suffered a knee injury and was medically discharged. So let's go ahead and start with, I was at the Charlotte MEPS, and we were leaving that morning, and anybody that doesn't know, MEPS is the processing station that you go to before basic. So we were all sitting around waiting, and you're there at 4 in the morning, and you're waiting until 3 or 4 to leave, so you're already in a bad mood. You're scared, nervous, excited, but you're tired. And I had failed to sleep the past night, which, as you will see further in our story, you would regret doing, so I'd advise anybody who's going to definitely sleep before. So we were all ready to go, and finally our van gets here, and it was me and a group of 5 or 6 other guys. We get in the van and we head for Fort Benning, Georgia. I was enlisted in the Army as a private first class, 11 X-ray infantry with airborne in my contract, so I was supposed to be an airborne, well, airborne infantry. But we'll get to that later. So we're driving, and they give you a little meal ticket, which is your final meal, your final civilization, normal human food. And they do that at Golden Corral, and you know, you eat all you want, but it's basically a trick because you're forcing all this food down you right before you get to basic training. And just so you know, my dad was a Marine, so anybody who says Army basic training might not be that hard, but Army infantry basic training is basically just as hard as Marine basic training. It's 14 weeks. It's actually a week longer if you're infantry in the Army. So anyways, we're driving, and it's about 10 o'clock at night, and we're about an hour away, and our van driver literally starts falling asleep and veering off the road. And so we have to wake him up, and we actually have to have one of our guys drive the van, like, because our van driver was falling asleep, so one of our guys had to drive us all the way to Fort Benning. So we finally get there at like 11:30 at night, and I remember the sign. It says, "Welcome to Fort Benning, Georgia, home of the infantry." Very, very scary sign. You don't know what to expect. We're all filed into reception, and from there the yelling began. You know, they don't yell at you that much in reception, but you fill out papers. You have an amnesty box where you put all your crap in, like your cigarettes and whatever. You get your first set of uniforms, which is just PT uniforms, and they keep you up for 36 hours, and you're being yelled at constantly. You're not used to it. You're scared. You want to go home. You're hungry, tired. And I remember the first chow, I sat down and literally almost fell asleep. It was ridiculous. So anyways, then the first morning of receiving, you go to get your hair cut, and they cut it all off, and they actually have razors with hoses, and they're not very gentle. They hold you down, they strap you down, and they get your hair off one way or another. Which, as you can see, mine is still short, but this would be considered ridiculously long and basic. So you get that done, and then what's funny is you'll be standing outside waiting, be touching their head like this, and it's weird to feel your head for the first time, and it's freezing cold. Your head is cold, and it just feels weird. Then at night, you finally get your sleeping quarters, your rack. You get put in a bay, and you have bay rules. You have to do fire watch, which is an hour every night, which doesn't seem like much, but it really sucks when you're being woken up in the middle of the night. A lot of people sell it for $20, but anyways, you get the reception. It's about a week and a half long. It's just horrible. It's the worst time of my life. You're just standing, waiting, getting your boots, uniform, everything, signing everything. A lot of it's just waiting. All the civilians are mean, except for like 2 or 3. Dental, everything. It's horrible. So finally, the morning arrives when we're going down to actual basic, because reception doesn't count. So we're going to actual unit and put onto a cattle cart that pulled by a semi. 2 of those and 2 buses, 2 Bluebird buses. And we get on, we're being screamed at worse than our reception drill sergeants, because they're different. You get new drill sergeants when you go down range, which is going to training. And we get screamed at, and they tell us to put our head down. They said, do not open your eyes, just put your head down. This will be like the last 15 minutes of rest you're going to see, probably for the rest of your military career. So, they do that. And what's funny is they actually drive you in circles just to confuse you, but it's really like 30 seconds up the road to where your new barracks. So I got my head down, and all of a sudden it comes to a stop, and they literally throw flashbangs at the buses, blow them up, start screaming, "Get the fuck off my bus, get the fuck off my bus." Everybody, you know, you're being chased up what is called Sand Hill, which is like a freaking half-a-mile vertical climb. You're being screamed at, carrying 2 of your bags. It's heavy as crap. It's just, they're yelling at you the whole first day. It's just nothing but screaming. You meet your new drill sergeants, and we actually had really amazing drill sergeants. Mine, Drill Sergeant Lopez, was a Ranger, and Drill Sergeant Gutierrez was Airborne. And they were actually, we got there, and we moved on, and I remember the next morning, it was raining. It's freezing, there's puddles. We're in PT shorts, which are like little girl shorts, and one long sleeve shirt. That's, you know, this is Army on it, and it's freezing. It's like 17 degrees, and there's a puddle of water, and we have to get down it and roll around. We're freezing to death, and by the end of it, you feel miserable. It's dark. Wake up is 3:30, and you got to be out there by 4, which is, let me tell you,